Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and completely demystify what AI agents actually are. You hear these buzzwords literally everywhere right now, but today, we're going to break down exactly how they work under the hood and, more importantly, why learning to build them is absolutely your ultimate career superpower.
We've got to start with the hard truth, though. Recent data from McKinsey predicts that AI could automate up to 50% of current work by 2030. And let's be honest, that initially sounds terrifying, right? When you pair that with the World Economic Forum reporting that over 40% of companies actually plan to reduce their workforce because of AI, well, it's pretty easy to look at all this and just feel a huge sense of doom and gloom. But instead of that doom and gloom, this actually brilliantly illustrates the massive opportunity hiding right there on the flip side. As investor Naval Ravikant put it, if you go brush up on your AI, tinker with it, and apply for that job, watch how they pull you in. Seriously, if you learn these skills, you become the highly valued, totally irreplaceable talent that companies are just desperately searching for to navigate this massive transition. So here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll meet your digital worker. Then we'll look at the anatomy of an agent, figure out exactly how agents take action, and finally, look at agents in the real world.
All right, Section 1. Meet your digital worker, beyond the chatbot. Let's get into it.
Just think about the stark contrast between these two things. Standard chatbots are everywhere, right? You ask them a question, they spit back some pre-written text. They just talk. It's kind of like having a waiter who can only recite the menu to you but can't actually take your order or bring your food. AI agents, on the other hand, actually take action. They can check your calendar, book an appointment, and instantly update your entire business software system. It's a total game changer. Simply put, an AI agent is a digital employee. It's a worker you can train to operate 24/7 without ever needing a sick day, getting tired, or, starting drama at the office coffee machine. You just give it instructions and it figures out exactly how to go get the job done, completely independently. Moving on to Section 2, Anatomy of an Agent, Building the Digital Brain. Just like a real human hire, our digital worker needs 5 core parts to function properly. First, it needs a brain, which is a large language model like GPT, so it can understand plain English. It needs a prompt to act as its behavioral instructions and memory to actually keep track of the conversation context. Plus, it needs knowledge, like specific company PDFs or spreadsheets to draw information from. And crucially, it needs tools to actually take digital action. But hey, here is some seriously great news for anyone wanting to build these. Modern no-code platforms automatically handle the brain and the memory for us. So, as builders, we really only need to focus on combining these 3 core ingredients, giving it the right prompting instructions, equipping it with the right knowledge data, and handing it the right tools to take action. That's the whole shebang.
Which brings us to Section 3, How Agents Take Action, the Power of APIs.
Every single time an agent does work online, it uses APIs. Think about it. When you click on a YouTube video, your computer requests data from YouTube's server, and YouTube sends it back. That back and forth happens through an API. They are essentially the underlying communication bridges between different software applications. Basically, APIs are the digital buttons AI agents push to get things done online. Instead of clicking a mouse or typing on a keyboard like we have to do, AI agents just push these API buttons directly. And because they're communicating directly, computer to computer, they can push these buttons thousands of times faster than we ever could.
To really picture how this works, think of an API like a waiter in a restaurant. You are the diner making a request. The API is the waiter who takes your order straight to the kitchen, which, in this case, is the server. The kitchen prepares the food, and the waiter brings it right back to your table. That is literally all an agent is doing when it searches the web or sends an email. Now, to make sure our digital intern knows exactly which API button to press and when, we give them what's called a schema. It's essentially a simple, natural language instruction manual. The agent reads this schema, understands exactly what the tool does, figures out what information it needs to input, and knows exactly what result to expect back.
All right, Section 4, Agents in the Real World, Digital Coworkers. Let's see this in action.
There are 2 main ways businesses are actually deploying these agents right now. First, you've got conversational agents. These chat directly with customers on a website widget or even over a phone line. Automated agents, however, work silently in the background. They don't need a human to type a message. They're triggered automatically by background events like a new email arriving or a form being submitted on a website.
For example, let's look at a conversational use case, the Sales Copilot. You can build an agent where a human sales rep simply types in a prospect's name.
Instantly, the agent uses its tools to scrape the web for the prospect's company data, summarizes their LinkedIn profile, and generates a fully customized pre-call strategy report. It equips the human rep to walk into that meeting incredibly prepared, increasing their chances of closing the deal, all while saving them hours, and I mean hours, of manual research.
Now let's move to our automated agent example and see how this builds into an entire workflow. Let's say a new lead submits a contact form on your website. Instantly, the background agent wakes up, uses its tools to research the company, evaluates the data against your qualification criteria to see if they're a good fit, and then instantly routes the qualified lead to the correct human sales team. It even sends a polite rejection email to those who aren't a fit. All of this happens in seconds, entirely without human intervention.
What's really fascinating, though, is where this is heading next. We're moving away from just having one agent trying to do everything and toward entire digital workforces. Imagine a specialized researcher agent passing data to a specialized writer agent who then hands it off to an emailing agent. They collaborate together to achieve highly complex business goals, functioning just like a real human organization. So, as we wrap up this explainer, the ultimate question you really need to ask yourself regarding your career, your skills, and your business is this: will you be empowered by AI